This is the XbotGo from BlinkTech. It's an AI Sports Tracking Gimbal. It's a great way to record your sports games and have a camera follow you. It can be used as a normal phone gimbal, but it's primarily a sports tracking gimbal. Alright, anyways, in the box you'll get, here's the box itself. Let's open it up. Manual, a soft carrying pouch, remote control, a mini tripod, charging cable and a wrist strap, and finally the gimbal itself. We'll take a closer look at this later on. Here's their tripod, the T1. Let's take it out. It comes in this carry bag. And here it is. You unlock the legs by twisting and then just pull them out. Alright, let's take a look at the XbotGo. As a phone gimbal, it has the usual 3-axis movements. It has 4 gimbal modes: follow, lock, FPV, and pan follow. And at the click of a button, it goes from landscape to portrait mode. Even with my iPhone 15 Pro Max on here and using the wide angle lens, none of the axes, the gimbal doesn't get in the way of the camera. You can't fine tune the speed and smoothness of the gimbal, and you can't control the phone with any of the buttons on here. So as a phone gimbal, it's pretty basic. Now where it shines and makes it stand out against other phone gimbals though, is that it's primarily an AI sports tracking gimbal. So let's take a closer look at that. So first off, when you're using this to record games, you're going to want to put it on a tripod. This is their T1 tripod. It's really compact and lightweight, and when it's closed up, it's about the same size as the gimbal itself. It's easy to open up, and at full height it stands at 45 inches. Now funny enough, I don't really do sports. Well, team sports anyways. Now my main thing is golf, but this isn't really meant for that though. But here are all the sports that are meant to be used with this gimbal: soccer, basketball, power soccer, football, lacrosse, ice hockey, and there's also a follow me mode. To get started, you'll choose a sport that you're filming, and make sure you choose the right options. I messed up the first time by choosing a small field so the camera didn't pan far enough in either direction. So don't be me, and make sure you choose the right parameters. I went to a nearby football field hoping to catch a game or at least a team practice, but that wasn't happening. This was the only thing that was on the field. I then headed over to a soccer field, and at least this time there were people practicing, so I tested the XbotGo with them. It works pretty well. It zooms in automatically and tracks the action. I did notice that it can get a little bit jumpy, but it's nice that you don't have to stand behind the camera the whole time to record the game. And with the remote, you can start and stop recording whenever you need to without having to go to your phone every single time. Or if you set up your gimbal on a really high tripod and can't reach it, the remote definitely comes in clutch. There's also a follow me mode where you can film yourself doing anything. To start recording, you just hold your hand up like this, and it starts recording. Let's see how well it can track me. It's doing pretty well, even with my back to the camera. So it loses me right when I was running close to the camera. It looks like you'll want to have a good distance from the gimbal to use follow me mode. Here's a better video of the XbotGo from the company that shows how it performs during a real game. You can also live stream on the app through YouTube or Facebook. It's a great way to stream games to family and friends who can't attend events in person. Alright, so I like to talk about cons when I'm reviewing gear. So first off, at the posting of this video, there's no way to remove the watermark or the timestamp when using the app. You have to use another camera app if you don't want that on the screen, but then you don't get all the sports tracking features, you know, the whole purpose of this gimbal. I was told that their team are working on implementing this feature in the future, so that's good to know. Next, you're stuck at 1080p at 30 frames per second when you're using the app. I would preferably like to shoot in 4K and 60p, but that's not an option. I actually shoot a lot of my footage in 24p. I know 24p is terrible for sports, but that's not even an option anyways. Finally, I have an issue with the buttons. There's a trigger button here that's labeled as a shutter button, but it doesn't do anything. Now I'm using an iPhone, so maybe it works on Android, but I don't have one of those to test it out. Also, you can double tap the mode button to center the phone. Or not. Let's try that again. Also, you can double tap the mode button to center the phone. But it centers to the gimbal, not to the horizon. So if you're on an uneven surface and you want to center it, it's going to point in the wrong direction. If it ever works, come on. So if you're on an uneven surface and you want to center it, it's going to be pointing in the wrong direction. I wish that the trigger button could be used to center the phone and to the horizon. All of my cons can easily be fixed via firmware, and from what I've been told, their team is still working on updates for this gimbal, so that's definitely good news. This is a pretty cool gimbal. It's a great way to record games and not be stuck in your phone. You can actually be immersed in the game itself. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about this gimbal, but for now, I need to get ready for my tea time. It is a sport no matter what this gimbal says. See you.